Yo, thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Glad seeing y'all. Today we talking about Louisiana giving a sister a hard time with a bill she's trying to put on the books to stop pedophile shit. So, a sister's trying to put a bill on the books out there in Louisiana that bars anybody that's under the age of 16 from marrying somebody in the state, period. And blocking 16 and 17-year-olds from marrying anybody that's over 4 years their senior. And of course, like I said, this is a sister that's trying to wedge some sense of decency to these backwoods redneck hicks out there in that white supremacist ass state. Let me put her up here. Her name is Yvonne Colomb. Goes our sister right there. And the article was thrown up in NBC on one of their little sites. So it says that Louisiana lawmakers rejected the bill that she's putting up, so they want 16-year-old and younger children to get married. So just pull up some of these highlights from the article. It says, when the House took up the bill, a part of the state House legislature, several conservative Republicans whose parties control the chamber balked at the idea, heavily rewriting the bill to allow those under 18 to marry with parental consent and requiring those under 16 to get judicial consent. The rewritten version passed the House 66-28 on Sunday and now goes back to the Senate. The state's legislation session ends Thursday, so that's tomorrow. Some Republican lawmakers argued that allowing those under 18 to marry would be beneficial in cases of pregnancy and also touted the benefits of marriage. And then one person makes a comment, if they're both 16 years old and they both consent to sexual relations and they're about to have a baby, why wouldn't we want them to be married? This is from State Representative Nancy Landry, a Republican, said on Sunday. Just as a public policy of the state, we want children born into wedlock if possible. And it just goes on. Supporters of a strict minimum age to marry called the bill a child protection measure, as it is. It's a child protection measure, what she's trying to kick, saying it would keep teenagers from marrying sexual predators, inciting marriages of teenagers to people decades older. Yes, so all this is reasonable shit. But the white supremacist lawmakers, they don't want to protect kids from marrying predators and pedophiles. So that's all I want to read from that crap. This is basically opening the door to white supremacist society having a capacity to partake in pedophilia. That's what that is. That's what that is. And to a lesser degree, increasing their white birth rate. More so pedophilia, and we'll address the white birth rate later. But let me tell y'all why this is more about white society sort of gearing themselves up to institutionalize and legalize pedophilia in as many places as they can. One fact that these Republicans that control the House out there in Louisiana forgot to cover up. They've got to cover up this one little track that they was making tracks talking this shit, right? Was when they said allowing those under 18 to marry would be beneficial in cases of pregnancy. Trying to make it seem like kid pregnancy is the catalyst for this, right? And to me, that is a large, glaring exposure of their pedophile ass agenda. This Nancy Landry jackass It's basically talking about, oh, it's a better look for the state. If the kid's gonna be fucking and having babies, then they might as well have a lane to go on and get married. These extremely high out of wedlock babies we got running around here, it look bad on the state. She talking that shit like, well, kids having kids is such a high contributor to the out of wedlock baby population in Louisiana and anywhere for that matter. And that's a motherfucking lie. Just look at the science of underage people having babies for 1 second. Anybody with a brain can tell you that infant mortality at young ages, especially like 16, 15, 11, 12, the ages they talking about, infant mortality goes up drastically the younger the mother is. All right? It goes up drastically. So these high numbers of babies, you know, that young people that's 16 or under, whatever, could possibly have, is a lie. That leads me to reason. The only reason that they want to do something like this is for recreational sex with children. Recreational pedo shit. Ain't about no damn marriage. It's about pedo shit. It ain't about addressing no pregnant, unwed, underage girl syndrome they got going on. You see what I'm saying? I mean, pull up a chart. Pull up a chart real quick. You'll see that the infant mortality rate goes up the younger the mother. These are results from, I believe it said 2010. And I pulled up some other results that were recent that had the same stats on it. I just pulled this up because the graph was a little bit more detailed. This one, it shows you the age groups from like 15 to 19 and 15 and under. That's what I really wanted. The other one just stopped at like 20 on down. But I wanted some of the specificity at the real young ages, right? So my reasoning tends to the side of these motherfuckers is all about loosening the grip on pedophilia, first and foremost. And I said in a comment on Lisa Cabrera's video about this that I hope no black men get caught up in this bullshit, because they will have a specific kind of justice reserved for black men walking around with a child. You hear what I'm saying? Especially as if it's a white female child talking about they married in Louisiana or anywhere in America. They probably won't mind a black man walking around with a boy, sad as that sounds. They probably won't mind a black man walking around with a boy talking about they married. You pedophile motherfuckers, you probably get an underage boy, and white supremacist society ain't gonna say shit to your ass, but you can bet your life if you sticking your Negro penis in a white female child talking about we married, that is not finna go well. You're gonna start seeing niggas getting hanged in record amounts and niggas getting castrated. And white supremacist society already does this type of shit gratuitously, like we talk about, but it's gonna skyrocket like a motherfucker. All this is gonna be in play. So, brothers, be smart. Be smart and leave white women and also leave white female children alone. Period. Y'all think what they doing to R. Kelly is biased? This shit is going to open up a whole new can of despair on niggas playing with this shit, right? That's the last thing we need is more despair. I don't care if some white girl mama do give her permission to marry you type shit. You niggas going to be driving around with your white child and a workaday white supremacist is going to see your ass on the street and be like, I think this is kidnapping. This might be kidnapping. I'm going to call the police. There's going to be some barbecue Becky shit. It's going to be all kind of shit that we've seen before, but the shit going to be amplified. It's going to be that kind of shit going on. We've seen it before. Y'all remember that case with the dude, I forget his name, but out of Georgia. Motherfucker babysitting while black. Y'all remember that? The dude in the subway. He was babysitting two white kids. One of them was a girl. I guess I forget what the other one was, but What white folk do? Call the police. I think they're being kidnapped. Are you okay? Yeah, they walked up to him like, yo, is the kids okay? You okay? We put that guy up so y'all don't forget his face. Put this guy up. You remember that dude? He looked very unawares of the world that he in, but I'm sure he was just doing his job. But motherfucker, you understand? It's gonna be all kind of shit. So they should just come out and say, you know, these laws, these kind of lax laws are just for white people to take advantage of so white people can engage in white on white pedophilia. That's what they should say. And unfortunately, as this type of fight is being put up by white lawmakers, picks up more steam kind of, and more states kind of trip the alarm on this type of stuff. There's 15 states right now who are already on board with this shit. There's no minimum age requirement for marriage crap. I'll post the names in the comments. Let me know what you think as far as what states they are. But unfortunately, this is going to extend to white people trying to marry black kids for pedophilia's sake. You understand? And white supremacist society already has a problem with harvesting black organs, subjecting black kids to all kind of abuse when they, you know, in these adoptive situations, all that type of shit. Let me switch through this picture here. There we go. So there's already a problem in society with black children being targeted by adult white people in all kind of arranged scenarios. This doesn't seem too far beyond the pale of having that same kind of contour. So we got to be of a mind to check white people, basically knocking at our black door talking about, give me your child, we in love, we want to get married, I got money. You know that money is what they're going to be waving in front of niggas' noses trying to bait black society with. You know they're going to be these pedos, they're going to be looking for the single mother ran homes, no man around situations, right? They're looking for low hanging fruit. They're going to try to be bartering with us, all right? White pedophiles, they know that white supremacist society has targeted black society to be in dire straits. So white pedophiles are going to prey on our children out of this type of shit. If we're not wise and we ain't paying attention to where on the map this shit is popping off. So be on high alert, y'all. Be on high alert for these white pedos out there. We can't let it get out of hand in our communities if this shit is to take hold like on a national scale. If we let this shit get out of hand in our communities, I already see that the shit is gonna look fucked up. After a while, white society, they're gonna be very brash about the shit. They're gonna be talking to black society like NBA and NFL owners talk about black players. You know, they always running that we pay y'all, we let y'all play bullshit, all that type of shit. Don't y'all complain about our anti-black racism. Don't y'all complain about us punishing black players harsher than we do the white players. Don't complain about us punishing y'all for protesting, all this shit, kneeling during the national anthem, that type of shit. They gonna flip it on us with these kind of lax laws like this. Like, well, we let you niggers marry white adults at 11 and 12 years old. Because you know white ego, it don't got no chill on it. They're going to be like, we let you niggers have financial security at 11 and 12 years old by letting you marry us. We're giving you a better life. Now, come on, isn't that just like reparations? Isn't that, you know what I mean? That sounds like reparations. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I don't put nothing past white supremacist society because they've been doing everything evil in the book that they could possibly do to a group, to us in this sort of closed off geograph called America, doing everything they could fucked up to us. So I don't doubt the bullshit that they'll do. I see nothing but further destruction of us coming by way of shit like this if we try to be lax to this kind of game that they playing, unfortunately. I'll say unfortunately for about the 90th time, right? And we got to be on high motherfucking alert whenever white supremacist society show us they trying to put legs on shit like they pedophile loving ass agendas. Alright? Now, to look at it the other way, we're talking about birth rate, right? The whole entire world knows that white people have a below replenishment birth rate. Let me get these charts up for the viewers, for those that want to view things. Alright, so this is a quick chart of the birth rates per 1,000 people. Yo, just know, if you can't read all the descriptions, that blue line on the bottom, that blue line to the furthest to the bottom is white people, and that orange line is black people, way up there at the top. Alright? So, yeah. But like I said, you know, the whole world knows that white people have a below replenishment birth rate. And then Asians is like right next in line. So out of their panic, I can also see them rejecting bills like the sister Colomb put up as an effort to put a chunk of white baby making onto white children, white female children in particular, in these days and times, making it their responsibility in a way, making them kind of bear some of the load. Now, are there boys that are marrying grown women out in these pedo-friendly ass states that got these kind of lax ass laws? I'm sure there probably are, maybe very, very few, I would say. Will those grown men that these little boys be having babies from these little boys? Possibly. I mean, adult white male sperm is a big contributor to their low birth rate. I know that. So, you know, you might have some fucked up ass bitches out here trying to get some child sperm, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Ain't no telling. But I don't see many parents, right? Because this whole thing requires parental type approval for this shit. From what I've read, it requires a parent to sign off on this shit. Got to be in front of a judge, and then the judge got to check some box and agree to this type of young age marriage type shit, right? I don't see many parents saying, yeah, son, go out there and knock up this 30-year-old woman that want to marry you while you 12 years old and throw all your years of slinging dick away on some perverted old ass bitch. Like, we haven't seen that scenario put on blast in the media yet in the states where this non-minimum marriage age is happening. Unless she's like a billionaire, then okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a billionaire, then a few parents is going to fold for that type of shit. But this is mainly going to be geared toward girls marrying men. The stats is 250,000 children as young as 12 were married in the U.S. between the year 2000 and 2010. This came from a site called Unchained. Unchained is they're an advocacy group for, you know, child marriage type shit, right? So the stat says mostly girls were marrying grown ass men out of that. We're talking about it as young as 12, marrying between that 10-year range or whatever. Mostly girls, right? So what can we say about that? We know plenty of parents will give over their girls to grown men for money and security type shit, and that's fucked up. Especially, you know, you get one of these trailer park broke single moms on welfare, one of these white chicks out there in the sticks of Louisiana, one of these Duck Dynasty chicks out there in the sticks, right? And her daughter get approached by a motherfucker making a little change, not even a lot, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucker could work at goddamn the auto center in Walmart. He could work at the auto service center in the Bay. He work on changing oil in Walmart or some shit, you know what I mean? Some shit like that, right? and the deal is getting sealed. You know what I mean? I hate to even think of this type of shit, but this shit will probably also be geared to same-sex pedophile marriages of children. I'm saying same-sex pedophile marriages of same-sex children. That shit don't even sound right being spoken. You know what I mean? But, I mean, what could be more of an obvious sign of a pedophile-ass agenda than stifling some legislation like what the sister Colomb's trying to pass, right? And then publicizing the fact that they stifled it too. That is strange in itself as well. Like, they're putting it on Front Street that they want to soft pad pedophilia. The report said the Republicans balked at the idea that this sister presented. Balked is to resist sharply, stop short, and stubbornly refuse something. To stubbornly refuse to pursue something. There's a stubbornness to it, right? So they want people to basically eventually normalize these kind of marriages on a more day-to-day stage, a more common stage. Most people don't even know that there's 15 states where there's no minimum age of marriage is even happening. So they try to contour these little laws in the shadows, make these little laws here and there to desensitize the public gradually to the display of the whole thing. To where you see motherfucking pedophile PDA in the streets with some child and you don't think nothing of it. You understand? To where next they'll have child cartoons and movies and shit glorifying pedophilia. You see? Next, the LGBT motherfucking asses, they're going to add pedophiles to their list of protected people, list of the people you can't say shit about. We know y'all done seen this coming, you understand? They got this shit right now called LGBT+. You know, we just talk about LGBT or LGBTQIA. They got some shit called LGBT+, that I was like, what the fuck is LGBT+? And it just basically means all the other pluses that they can add on to the shit up into the future or whatever. So I found this site and it listed like about 100 some other pluses. Like, we think that we hitting it with LGBTQIA shit. They're really teasing us with that shit, is my point. It's like 100 other extra shit that they could be throwing at us, really, but they not. They just waiting on certain shit to transpire. This is what I want y'all to know. They waiting on certain shit to pop so they can gradually let other shit be involved and shit. And the terms that they use to describe certain shit, it's like, oh, it's so fucking, it covers pedophilia in this shit. Trust me. They just don't call it. I looked for the word pedophile, but it wasn't the word pedophile. But they got so many different terms that you classify yourself as a pedophile and fall up underneath this shit, right? So this LGBT plus is some shit I need to watch for. Watch for that shit. You understand? They teasing us with this shit right now. But eventually there's going to be more laws for pedophiles and special protections that are enforceable by law on that LGBT shit. You're going to get political candidates campaigning on pedophile-friendly laws. We already got that shit now with the Nathan Larson dude out in Virginia. We saw with Roy Moore. Well, these guys, Nathan Larson, he was a dude, admitted pedophile, admitted incest dude. And he had a felony for some other shit. But, he's speaking up on this shit. Roy Moore, pedophile motherfucker. You understand? So, out of that, you can expect pedophile-friendly legislation. You understand? With them type of motherfuckers just being allowed to spread their vision. You understand? All the while, you're going to get motherfuckers like Kamala Harris saying, I'm not going to do nothing for black folks specifically, but I'll sure help pedophiles. You know what I mean? We're going to hear all kind of shit. She's going to be like, yo, A motherfucker like Kamala, what's she gonna say? She gonna say, I'm not gonna do anything specifically to help black people, but I sure will help the pedophiles for their times of being outcast. They've been outcast all this time, all this many years in society. But I ain't finna do nothing specific for black folk, you understand? Running that song and dance. Watch my words as I'm saying this to y'all. America will do it. Motherfuckers is crazy out here. So that's part of it. And one last thing, you know, that's why all these different legislations have been sitting under people's noses, really, for all these years for these other various states that I mentioned. I'll put the list down there so y'all can check it out and see where y'all states sit. Notice we ain't heard shit from Me Too. We ain't heard nothing from Me Too about none of these states' bills. Not one single peep. Y'all noticed that, right? Not one damn word from Me Too. None of that female solidarity talk. None of that we gotta protect girls talk. None of that. You feel me? They on code with white supremacist agenda. And white supremacist agendas like pedophilia and fixing the white birth rate type shit by whatever move they can use. Just like these lawmakers. You understand? You got fat ass ho-ho eating Oprah Winfrey. I mean, Oprah, you know what I mean? Gordita Crunchbox eating Oprah Winfrey. And motherfucking HBO talking about, we got to let Michael go, y'all. But they silent about these kind of policies and mainstream media propping up these motherfucking anti-black feeding frenzies, posterizing black men, R. Kelly. All of this is going on. And all of this shit is going on. I mean, all this pedophile-friendly legislation is just sitting on the books. And all they got to say is crickets. All right? So just keep a bird's eye view on the hamster wheel they going to try to keep people occupied with while they holding on to legislation that allows them to do pedo shit. I also wouldn't be surprised if these other countries that, you know, other countries that got low white birth rates, Europe, Australia, and so forth, all these various places that got low white birth rates, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing similar bills like this shit take hold. You understand? Same places where we got these white supremacist gangs. Look, we got these white supremacist groups that we got in America. They all over the world. It's different incarnations of these motherfuckers, right? Same places where we see these white supremacist groups popping up talking this anti-Islam shit. These neo-Nazi groups, these white supremacist, white nationalist groups, they are usually very anti-Islamic. I want to see what the fuck they got to say about this. Look at Islam, they got child bride shit. They always talking that Islam got child bride shit. Underage brides and shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they break code on all of that shit and just say, hey, look, fuck it. You can go marry a white child so we can get our fucking numbers up. Go marry a white child. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And also we want to do pedo shit too. Also, we want to do pedo shit too. You know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they broke code on all of that shit globally once they get desperate enough about this low white birth rate that they can't help. You understand? They dying more than they're actually being born. They can't help it. They can't help that they die. You know? All that survival of the fittest shit. Yo, the universe is saying y'all are supposed to be dead. Y'all not fit. Y'all are supposed to die. So we're going to keep an eye on this shit. I want y'all, whoever tuned in to me, look. Keep your eyes on this shit. This is what the fuck going on. This is the shit they doing on the low. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping. Don't forget to check out my Teespring. That shit, the fire, the flame, and all that type shit and shit. Let me get it, y'all.